Welcome, everybody. Welcome, Elizabeth. Welcome, Lorena. So good to see you. Welcome, Roberto. Welcome, Jamie. Welcome, Emily. Hi, Lorena. So welcome. If you're new to the space, particularly welcome. Hi, Roberto. So my name is Anita and my pronouns are they, them. And in this space, we do shamatha, we do deity and ancestor veneration. And the idea is to work with anxiety that you might be feeling. These are sort of practices I put together over the last couple decades to work with my own anxiety. Welcome, Susanna. And we have generally this kind of a agenda or plan. I like to share that so that there's some kind of map. So we'll start with a self-healing, self-massage, and then we'll do an ancestor veneration ritual, and we'll go slowly. Oh, no worries, Jamie. Whatever is comfortable for you, absolutely. Hi, Elizabeth. Welcome. So I was just sharing that we're going to, let me put this back again. We're going to start with a self-healing yoga, self-massage. We'll do an ancestor veneration ritual, and we'll go slowly through the ritual so that we can sort of understand each element of it. And then we'll do an illusory body practice where we will work with the ancestors. So for the massage, hi, Lydia. So we're going to start with a self-massage. And so first we're going to work with the 5 sense organs. And each of the sense organs is connected to another part of the organ, another organ in the body. Hi, Amanda. So first we'll start with the eyes. So we're going to I invite you to find something in your space that feels particularly inviting to you. It could be a photograph of a deity or a family photograph. Find something that feels, inspires love and safety. So identify something like a plant or something that gives you, and then just look at it without blinking for a few seconds. Some of us will be able to do this for a long time. My eyes usually get tired in a few seconds. So just look at it softly and just feel that safety or love or whatever when you see this object. Keeping your eyes open as long as you can. And some of us might find that our eyes are watering. We might want to close our eyes. If you need to, go ahead and do that. You can let your gaze sort of get unfocused if that helps. Letting any kind of affection or safety wash over your body. And if it needs to close, just gently close your eyes. You might still feel your eyes fluttering, totally normal. Gently letting that go. Bringing your hands together, rubbing them, creating a gentle heat, and very gently placing that over your eyes, not pressing, just letting that subtle heat over your eyes. And we have exercised or massaged our eyes, actually also exercised or massaged our liver. And now we're going to do the nose. Particularly helpful actually for those of us who have difficulty breathing when we get anxious. Helpful also for those of us who get migraines or headaches when we get on certain day, on just upsetting days. So we start with the edge of the nose, just gently massaging the edge of the nose. You can even do the sides of the nose, helps with the migraines. The bridge of the nose. You might find when you're doing the bridge that you're giving out like a small exhalation when you come to the end of it, and that's totally fine. That's kind of the air that our body holds on to as a just in case. We can let that go. So we've massaged our nose and our lungs. And now we'll massage our ears. And if you can, I invite you to cross your hands and massage the opposite ears. Crossing that middle line is helpful. And see if you can get every part of the ear, inside, outside, the sort of semicircle over here, you want to get that too. I don't know whether you did this kind of stuff when you were a kid. I like doing it. And then see if you can fold your ears as long as it doesn't hurt. And this really helps the kidneys. Yeah. And then see if you can fold them from top to bottom. It's going to warm up the kidneys. Okay. So that's the ears. Now we'll move on to our tongue. This is my most fun sense organ to play with. It also is kind of really important because it connects to the heart, the physical heart, as well as the subtle emotional heart. So stick out your tongue. That's really the part of it. You might have seen some deities like Kali or Durga in Hinduism. They're sticking out their tongue. And these are actually heart deities. Now you can sort of play it around, move it from side to side, top to bottom, diagonal, whatever feels fun. And that's the tongue. So the last sense organ is touch. And we're going to use actually, or skin. So we're going to use the lips, which is particularly sensitive. And we're going to do what I call goldfish. This is actually exercising our spleen. Whatever feels fun. So those are the 5 sense organs. And now we're going to massage the head. So we'll start with the forehead, actually. We're going to be gentle with the forehead. This is where some of you might have heard the third eye. This is really helpful to do. Forehead and head is really helpful to do just before going to bed. Gives you a calm night's sleep. And now we're going to move up here to what was soft when we were baby. And this we can be a little bit more, we can apply a little bit more pressure and make it more pleasurable if that helps. And then you start going back till you reach the crown. And this is where, for some of us who have hair, you'll notice that the hair changes direction sometimes. Yeah. And now I'm going to have to release my hair for this. I like to go down. We're going to get the back of it. And since we're here, I actually like to, this isn't really part of this massage, but I like to go everywhere else that feels good. Just give it a nice little massage. Just feel the energy from your fingertips being this loving energy going everywhere. All right. Then we're going to go down to the throat. This is where our speech center is, our communication is. So we can give and receive love through words from here. So we're going to gently massage downwards. And if you like, you can even think of a red light in your throat being activated, being cleaned. And bringing to mind any intentions or aspirations or prayers around speech in relationships. All right. And now we're going to go to those of us who have breasts. And feel free to turn off your videos if this feels awkward. All we're going to do is massage the breast tissue. And especially for those of us who have what's called dense breast tissue, we get called back to to get to the breast imaging because they can't quite see through it. And then you also want to get your nipples. And then regardless of whether you have breasts or not, you also want to massage the area in between the sternum. So really important because the heart center is here. Give it a nice massage. Then we're going to do our armpits, a lot of energy endings over here. And then the side of the body. And then we're going to do our stomach, nice little loving attention. Stomach. And then the lower back. This is where our kidneys are. We'll warm them up. Now we're going to come to our thighs. Thighs are actually kind of important. It's connected to the wind energy that's required for digestion. So if we're nervous or upset or agitated, the wind energy gets stuck in the thighs and it makes digestion hard. So we're going to do something that's a little kind of, I like to think of it as almost like dancing with the hands. So you cross your hands. So again, we're crossing that center line. That's helpful. And then we're going to tap alternatively on the thighs. And this actually can be very settling. It's actually tapping into the vagus nerve. And you can move it up and down, like dance, play with it. What step would you like to do? And then we'll get to the lower leg. Massage that. And now we'll get to the feet. Feet has a lot of energy endings here. And we'll just massage, we'll get the ankles, the heel. Wherever you feel like if you put pressure, there's both pain and pleasure. that means that there's a little bit of wind energy that wind or air energy that wants that massage. So we'll do the last step for today, the last self-healing massage. And this one's a little acrobatic. So make space for yourself. So we're going to work with one of the most important energy centers, which is the heart. And the idea of this is that all emotions are welcome. What becomes a little challenging is certain emotions, grief, anxiety, anger, upsetness, it gets stuck. So there's nowhere for it to move and take on new shape. So we want to move that energy that is stuck in the heart. So we're going to, I'll show you. So we're going to shake, come down at the same time, and release air through the mouth while making a sound. So it is acrobatic. So feel free to play with it and do what feels good. So here I'll demonstrate how I do it. Ah, 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 ah. And feel that you're releasing things that have been stuck. You're allowing it to move and take on new shape. Ah, ah, ah. So that's the self-healing yoga. And I should say before we move on that feel free to unmute and share, offer any sharings to the group anytime you want. Otherwise, it feels like I'm talking, which is it's a little weird, but no pressure. So I wanted to say what this does, the self-healing massage, is that we think of our channels in our body. If you might have heard that. We think of our channels as these things, these threads or tubes going through various parts of our body. You can think of it as similar to how we might think of it as nerves or veins. But what happens is that there are knots in the vein. It gets knotted up. So when we do this, it's like the knots are released and things can then move. So, maybe next time I'll bring something that actually has it. So Lorena, good, loved it. Yeah. Yeah. I will, there is actually a YouTube series on Bhumi Sparsha's channel. So there are some, I'll start including links on it in the Shamatha email as well. So just, anytime, feel free to just bring that energy into you, and that will start moving this energy, all of this prayers and meditations you're doing, it'll start having this effect more easily because things can travel without coming into this blockage. So I want to pause here just if there's any sharing before we move on to the ritual. Okay.
Already shared in the chat, but I feel just really moved by you as a person of color and whose traditions this probably is coming from, teaching us these beautiful practices. And I can feel maybe the emotions already moving through me from just giving that loving attention. So thank you so much. Thank you. I'm glad I was able to finally make it to be
I'm
here.
so glad to see you, Lorena. So glad that you were able to make it. Yeah. Yeah.
So interesting to me how like I was a veterinarian and I have a lot of animals and I touch them all the time and it makes me feel good, but I don't it felt really great to accept that for myself, like that gift. I spend so much time with my hands with everything else, not with me. And so that was really wonderful. And when we crossed, like something happened. I just felt like I was kind of being thrown in the other way because I think I was like all one way. I don't know what happened, but I felt energy and it felt wonderful. Thank you so much. It was lovely.
Lovely, Jamie. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah. I really enjoy the crossing too. It really has an effect. Yeah. They say that it has an effect from a polyvagal perspective, but I don't know enough to understand it. Yeah. Thank you. Mhm. So we'll move on to the ancestor veneration part. So this is in the Hindu tradition, annually we remember our ancestors. And I think in other traditions too, there is an annual, I hear you say nodding, Lorena, which falls maybe around the same time. Or, yeah. So I really do find that very interesting that there's this common connection. So we want to reach out to our ancestors. We want to build a connection with them. And we may or may not know the names. We may or may not have known them. They go back generations and generations. And it's important, I think, for me to remember that I'm not an individual. I'm part of this continuity, that there was something before I came, and I will be contributing to this line even after the physical body has left. And so I invite you to invite your ancestors into your space. All the ancestors who have you in their minds, in their consciousness, who have a special bond with you, a special promise to pass on any wisdom that they have gotten through their hard work. Ask all the ancestors who haven't committed to the work to stay out of the circle for now, and only invite those ancestors who love everything about us. Parts of us that are seen by the world, not recognized by the world. Parts of us that make the world uncomfortable. And the world sometimes weaponizes as a way of working with their discomfort. Those ancestors who see us for who we really are. Love and wisdom. And I use the word love, but more recently I've started using the word delight. Ancestors who delight in you. And I invite you to start seeing, tuning into this delight that they have. It's like they're just so happy right now that you call them here. You can see that there's no other place that they want to be in this moment than being with you. You, nobody else. Further, we're going to ask our ancestors who come from specific things that have categories that have been politicized, race, gender, sexuality, and who have been working with that, regardless of whether they were in the dominant category or non-dominant category, to start having conversations amongst themselves. If they have done the work, to start having those cross-racial, cross-gender, cross-sexuality conversations. Those difficult conversations of love and wisdom, so that we're not bypassing or pretending that we live in a color-free or gender-free or gender-neutral, world. We live in a world where these categories have been politicized, and there has been harm done and harm received. And we want our ancestors from these various categories who have been thinking about it and working on it. So I request those ancestors of Elizabeth and Lydia and Roberto and Lorena and Jamie and I can't read, I'm sorry, Rochelle, Elizabeth, Reen, Emily, Susanna, all those ancestors who are present and worked on intergenerational harm done and harm received, to engage in conversation that is meaningful, that is honest, that is difficult, that treasures each one of us, that holds the intergenerational memories. Even if we don't remember the incidents, our bodies can feel the harm of exclusion because of race, because of language, because of geography, because of gender, sexuality, gender expression, religion. Engage in conversation, support us in engaging in those conversations. Support us when we have those conversations. Show us how to have them. Show us that continuity of wisdom, continuity of belonging, continuity of inclusion. Show us the wisdom that each continuous line has learned of the harm that we have done to each other, the harm that we have received from each other. Show us how to use speech and communication, and share our wisdoms with each other. And on behalf of all of us here, I offer these flowers as a mark of our love, as a mark of how much we need you. Of how we are interconnected. Help us remember that we are not merely individuals. We're interconnected. Remind us again and again. As a mark of our prayer, I offer this water. We know that you are in a world where you cannot consume food or water, but I invite you to enjoy the sight of it, the smell of it. Imagine how it tastes. This is water that, when you do this ritual, you can offer any kind of drink that you enjoy. This is water that I enjoy. So we offer this to you because we want you to be happy and nourished. We want to take care of you because you are our people and we are your people. Just because you're not in this world doesn't change the fact that we belong to this very long lineage. And the fact that we have survived and are here is in no small part because you learned to love yourself. So show us how to love ourselves. And we offer this food. This is dates. Again, we know that you cannot consume this, but this is for you. This is a mark of our love for you, our appreciation of all the work that you have done and are doing. We can imagine you looking at this food, enjoying the sight of it, the smell of it, imagining the texture and the taste of it, the sweetness of it, the nourishment of it. And as you feel nourished by this, hold my feet, hold my body, hold me. Every time I feel like doing something that's reactive, every time I feel desperate, hold me. Just give me a support so I can tune into myself. And finally, I offer this incense stick. I offer the warmth. For you, I offer the smell. I offer the smoke. Think of this as a signal that spreads far throughout this universe, as big as we can imagine, and then some more. Every single ancestor of mine, I am of you. My body comes from you. My body has intergenerational power. Yes, it holds intergenerational trauma. It also holds intergenerational love, intergenerational wisdom. And so every corner of the universe, let this smoke reach it, so that you know that I am here. I need you. And I am going to articulate my prayers to you. I'm going to read a prayer that Lama Rod wrote on his community. So I'll say the prayer on our behalf, and then we'll take a moment of silence so that we can add any prayer of our own. So this is Lama Rod's prayer. Please bless us so that our minds remember who we are. Please bless us, ancestors, so that the memory of who we are becomes our path. Please bless us, ancestors, so that this path frees us from the delusion of who we think we are and what we think this world is. And please bless us so that this delusion flowers into love and wisdom. And I would say delight and wisdom. And take a moment to add any prayers, any personal prayers. And now you can add any prayers for people that you love. Now you can add any prayers across categories that you want your and our ancestors to engage in conversation about. And when you feel ready, you can transition from that. I'll pause here for a moment. If anyone feels like sharing something, offering something to the group, feel free to unmute and share.
Thank you. That was so so powerful. I your wording was so simple, but it's like felt so easy, but so strong. And I found myself being like, wait, what was like wanting to like write down how it just flowed out of you. And I felt just I felt connected to my ancestors in a way I haven't before. So I think this is gonna I'm really appreciate your this prayer. I think I'll be using it, like coming back to this for a long time. And especially around asking for wisdom of having conversations across differences that I appreciate that so much. Just asking for help with that. And yeah, thinking back to wherever people knew how to do something that I can't do, or yeah. Thank you.
Yeah,
I
that
hope this is, oh, go ahead.
thank you, was really lovely and powerful. And one of the things that came to me was I saw Lama Rod when he was here in Baltimore a few months back, and one of the things he said at the beginning of the talk was, your ancestors are meeting my ancestors because we're here in this space together. And I felt some of my ancestors' ears prick up at that, and ones that don't often show up for practice. And I felt a similar kind of shared space here this evening, and I just want to appreciate everyone who helped create that space that we made together, and I think it was really lovely. And I also want to appreciate talking about ancestors delighting in us. I come from a long line of very serious Christians, and it is sometimes doesn't feel real accessible to think that a lot of them would be real pleased with this. And that didn't feel hard tonight. It felt like maybe I haven't given them enough credit. They've had some time and they've been doing some work, and what do I know? And I only invited the ones who would. So that's who's here, and maybe I can just be in that. And yeah, that's just, at this time of year when so many of our cultures know the veil is thin, it felt nice to be doing that work. Thank you.
Thank you, Christina.
I'll just say thank you. It was really quite beautiful, and I'm grateful for the reminder of calling in my ancestors who are actively doing the intersectional and cross-sectional and healing work that I'm engaged in today. And I have a connection to my ancestors, almost a daily connection with them, but I don't, it's probably my ego. I don't think of their work as being connected to my work. And you just changed all of that for me. So thank you.
I hope this is okay. I'm just overcome with the feeling of imploring the ancestors who are peace loving, those in the Middle East and the Israelis and the Jews and the Palestinians and the Arabs. We all are the same. We have the same ancestors, many of us are very close genetically and even, traumatically. We've all had, genocide and terrible things, but we've also both made beautiful artwork and poetry and music. And I implore those ancestors to come and help us, the people here now, to see the commonalities, as many people do, and maybe not the people in charge, but many, many people don't want to suffer and they want everyone to live in peace. Please come and help us now. Bring your wisdom and the joy of creation and all of our creative love and spiritual just effusiveness that we have and share, and bring other ancestors all over to please come help us on the earth now to remember our common ancestors and to venerate each other's ancestors. And also, I don't know why, I'm really driven to say also to all those whose ancestors we will be the innocents, and please learn from our mistakes and please take our wisdom and make the world more beautiful and create more of the hope that comes from our ability to be the divine in us. And I just pray to all of them to please come to our aid, and for us to be able to pass along to whose ancestors we will be more love and beauty from this time also.
Hear our prayers, ancestor. Hear Jamie's prayers. Empower us. Support us in finding that imagination and creativity. So we'll transition by, again, working with our heart center. And if you can make this like butterfly. And we're going to put it on our heart center again, on our chest. And again, we're going across the center line. And we're going to tap alternatively. Feel free to work with the pace. It's a dance. It's your dance. Feels right. You can transition from that. So I planned on doing an illusory body practice, but I think I'm going to let that go for now. It's been quite a bit. And the Shamatha for Anxiety series will pause for the rest of the year, and then we'll start next year. And we'll probably, what I'm thinking is work with attachment anxiety, just familial dynamics that brought some challenges to love ourselves. So I hope I'll see some of you next year. And please get some rest, drink some water. I'll see you later.
Thank you.
Thank you, Roberto.
Thank you for everyone being here together. Thank you so much. Thank you, Anita. It's very beautiful. And I look forward to next year.
Thank you, Jamie. May your prayers be heard by all our ancestors.
Anita, would you be open to sharing the recording of this? Feel free to say no, but it was pretty awesome.
Oh, absolutely. I'll put it up on the YouTube, Boomy Sparsh YouTube channel.
Yeah? Okay, because this is needed. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you, Rochelle. Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you, Roberto. Thank you, Lydia. Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you, Jamie. Thank you, Susanna. Thank you, Reed.
Thank you.
That's fantastic. We can do it again.
So beautiful. Thank you, Anita.
So beautiful. Thank you. That